Me and you're so similar in that way. To go beyond the extreme, you have to go through the edges of all the extremes.
I like to explore this extreme, that extreme. I had an over 40-inch vertical myself.
You did?
I was like 150, benching 300. Not just painkillers, I do all sorts of drugs. I was just going hard on everything. Lifting, drugs, partying.
Would you say by exerting on these things, you also exhausted them in some ways?
I had an injury, stopped working out, crashed my motorcycle. I went from injured to here. I think I healed myself.
You were working at the ER though, right?
I've seen a lot of death. I've had some really crazy death experiences. All that did was tell me there's something else to this fucking reality.
What got you here?
Man, you motherfucker. Seeing you on the internet when I was a young Asian boy. Oh yeah! Trying to get buff.
Damn,
over 20
bro.
years.
I lost my voice. I got a new voice. Too much exertion. One of my assignments from our head teacher, MeiCheng, in CC, especially this boot camp, is to conduct 60-minute interviews. He said I've been interviewed countless times before, right? And then to flip that karma, now I have to interview people, and also as part of my 9th Bhumi territory training, like make bodhicitta gains by like yoking to other people. Yeah. So because like after realization, now you have the flexibility to like go beyond self and others and include both self and others. So to aggregate and tune into other sentient beings, to feel other people not just as myself, but as themselves, both and neither. And all the people I interview are realized beings. They've all realized at least anatta, and that is the awakening and the end of the spiritual path in the context of most modern spiritual circles. But for contemplative CrossFit, that's only the beginning, starting condition for the rest of the path to Buddhahood.
What's wrong, Mike?
Nothing. Trying to feel my pain, right? Realize like everything hurts. What can I do to try to make it not hurt? I didn't know what it was at the time, but it was body scanning.
And you didn't read anything spiritual at all?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm so far away from my body. Where's my body? I got to a point where I got scared. I was like, oh my God, if I try really hard, I might just fall out. Am I just gonna die right now? And I had that fucking Matrix experience where I just woke up one day, I was like, I fucking know Kung Fu. I was just sitting there practicing and I was literally yelling, what the fuck? Crazy ruckus, and they called the ambulance because they thought I was having a stroke. This is not a medical emergency. Tell them to.
This is a spiritual emergency.
Yeah, I'm going through some spiritual shit. He picks up the gun and starts shooting at me. I'm like, holy shit, I'm getting shot at. Me try to become like a Buddha, maybe? What the fuck? But at least now it's not outside the realm of
impossibility.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I kind of tell the story all the time what jacking off was like before the internet existed. Right hand click, left hand dick.
3, 2, 1.
Damn.
What's up, John? So we're going around interviewing the mentors. What got you here?
Seeing you on the internet when I was a young Asian boy, trying to get buff. There wasn't representation, much on the internet of other buff Asian dudes. So I just found you very easily. You're like the earliest people on the forums and on YouTube making cool guy Asian content. It wasn't even called content back then, it was just videos.
Back then it was just videos. Yeah. There's no like content creators back then. Just What year was that? You remember?
Oh fuck. Yeah, probably. So I was still in college. 2000. No. Yeah, 2004, but before. Actually.
2004?
I want to say.
Yeah, because you're a 90s kid, right?
Yeah. You know, I was already drinking. I was already in college. Is basically right when I got buffed, which was like 2002, 2003, 2004, something like that. So over.
Yeah, we're in the very beginning.
Years.
Yeah, 20 years. Damn.
Over 20 years. But yeah, I saw this guy. He was just crazy. This guy was trying to do vertical jump training. I was trying to get I had an over 40-inch vertical myself.
You did?
Yeah. I
No
did
way,
at
bro.
one point, yeah.
You had an over 40-inch vertical?
Yep.
No bullshit.
40, not
40.
40-inch vertical.
Wow. And you say you also bench like 300?
I was like 150, benching 300, 3x3, 3 plates actually. I was trying to get my big 3 over 1,000. I barely, my squats wasn't strong enough. So I was deadlifts, bench press, squat was like 960 or something.
Wait, you squat 960?
No. You know the big 3? You add the 3.
Oh, add the 3.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, interesting.
My goal was to break 1,000, but I got close.
Yeah, same trajectory almost. Yeah. My best bench was like 300, 150, and I thought I was bad. But then you were like, ew.
But you looked way more ripped. I think I sacrificed my body to get to that number. I was focusing totally on the goal of pushing weight, I think, at that time. I think I just injured myself, but I didn't know back then.
That happens to all of us, injury, big or small.
So then after a while, after I kind of stopped working out so much, had injury, stopped working out, crashed my motorcycle, like 2009, really bad accident. I was riding a motorcycle one-handed because I was carrying a bouquet of flowers for Mother's Day. Hit a bump, fucking landed on my neck, front side crash, broke my helmet, fucked up my neck and my back. Had like
so blood everywhere.
No blood.
No blood.
I was wearing full gear, full horsehide leather jacket, looking really cool too. Cool like 1976 CB 550 Super Sport Cafe racer I built. Super proud of it, and just fucking crashed it. Had like a Final Destination mode, crashed it, boom, fell. Was so shocked, I like sat up and turned around, and a semi truck goes like anti-lock brakes on the semi truck, like you know 4 feet away, something like that. But I was like, holy shit, I almost got broke my neck, couldn't even feel it, and then semi truck almost ran me over. But I was in shock. But I just called my cousin. He took me to get help and everything. But I was fucked up for a long time.
That with the injury from lifting.
And I was actually at that point, I was really proud of how
you got
hard
lucky.
How, even my injuries, like whatever. This is how you're tough. You just do shit and you recover, and scars are cool. I might be stiff, but just keep on pushing. I had like no.
So you're very familiar with like exertion right from the start.
Yeah. Always been pretty extreme actually. But I got addicted to painkillers, all this shit because I couldn't do shit about my pain. Nothing was on the outside seriously injured, but I was fucked up. I couldn't turn my neck for like a year. I was like Batman, just turning like that. And totally forgot about Frank Yang. Totally forgot. And then this leads into how I started on my path, actually, because...
Did you stop lifting for a while?
I stopped lifting because it hurt too much. Yeah. I actually got chubby after first girlfriend, all that stuff. But addicted to painkillers because I didn't know what else to do. So addicted that after I had 2 kids, I was questioning my life. I was like, what the fuck? Not just painkillers. I do all sorts of drugs. I was just going hard on everything. Lifting, drugs, partying, stealing cars, all this kind of shit as an adolescent. All kinds of just things to do. And
would you say by exerting on these things, you also exhausted them in some ways?
Yeah. How else would it come out? I don't think, So I didn't know what else to do with this pain, and I wanted to get off painkillers. So in my head, I was like, all right, I need to feel this pain. There's nothing else for me to do than feel this pain because I was just masking it. I was just taking drugs. I mean, I was doing like mobility stuff, physical therapy, acupuncture, all this shit, massage stuff. It didn't work, but I was like, I just gotta feel this fucking pain.
How did you get that insight? Because that's an insight that is so simple and so direct. Like most people avoid feeling their pain or their suffering, or even just their emotion. They dissociate. Like even when they get on a spiritual path, that's the one thing people avoid doing is feeling their own feelings.
I think I exhausted every other thing I knew. So the last thing to do.
So the last thing was just like you exhausted everything. The last thing you could do, the only thing you could do is to feel. No choice.
Obvious thing.
No choice.
The most obvious thing is to feel it, right? So I heard about this thing called deprivation chambers, isolation chambers.
From Joe Rogan or?
No, this is way before.
Oh, way before.
Way before Joe Rogan even became famous in that way.
By the way, this guy is 44 years old. Look how young he looks.
44, yeah. So when I heard about it, I only heard of one guy in Seattle. I grew up in Seattle that had a isolation tank, but it was private, and he lived like blocks away. And he's just, you might have to contact him, and maybe he'll set up a whatever and make friends with them and all this stuff. It wasn't feasible. So I was like, you know what? I could do the same thing as isolation chamber, but in my own room. I'll just sit pillows up and fucking make sure the temperature's right.
So you did the isolation tank, or you did it? You did it. You didn't do it at all. Okay.
Yeah, I made my own.
You made your own.
I replicated a isolation type of situation.
Okay.
So what I would do, because I was trying to feel my pain, right? I just realized like everything hurts. So what can I do to try to make it not hurt? So I would just do, I didn't know what it was at the time, but it was body scanning. I would start at my toe and I would wiggle it. And all right, now I can't feel my toe in that position. It's like a neutral position. Then I would move up ankle, leg, butt, whatever, got to the back and everything. And I was able just to find out where this pain was connected to, what it meant, what it was, the the relationship of this pain to everything else. And that just gave me a physical relief, but I had unintended side effects, which was at a certain point, if I put everything in neutral position, I would forget about my body, right?
What do you mean by neutral position?
Like
posture or
like
mindset?
it would just feel like it's not there because there is no stimulus.
Oh, you mean when you're floating?
Floating, but I was just being. I would just manipulate my posture with pillows and support, where I would forget I'm not using any muscles.
So you will feel like you don't have a body.
Yeah, I was trying to find a position where there's no tension. I was trying to find the most efficient, low energy usage posture, so I could not hurt. But when I did that, it was crazy because the next thing I noticed after I forgot about my body was my breath. So I was like, holy shit, my breath feels really unnatural. Am I like consciously having to breathe in and out? Like, what's this natural breath? So I just trained relaxing my breath until it just felt like my diaphragm was doing this. And it was just going by itself. So then I forgot about my breath, right?
So you empty out the body and you empty out the breath. Yeah. And you didn't read anything spiritual at all?
Nothing.
Okay.
And then after I did that, what I noticed was my heartbeat. So then I was like, all right, I'm just going to focus on my heartbeat. And what I noticed was the space in between heartbeats was really long. There was no reference for time.
So you're tapping into that space between the heartbeat.
Yeah. And you know what existed there?
What?
Thoughts.
Oh, okay.
So then I was watching my thoughts.
Oh, wow. So it's just like self-invalidating your entire body.
Yeah. So
and your breath and and the space.
And the thoughts would come, and I could finally watch my thoughts and mind quiet down. After so much practice, I put a lot of hours into this, not knowing what the fuck I was doing. It was just my routine to go to sleep.
So otherwise you would be in so much pain you couldn't even sleep.
Yeah. So the crazy part was the gaps in between thoughts.
What kind of insight did you get from that?
I got scared because I was like, holy shit, I'm so far away from my body. Where's my body? I got to a point where I got scared. I was like, oh my God, if I try really hard, I might just fall out. Am I just gonna die right now? Am I killing? Can I just hit a switch and kill myself?
You mean if you truly tune into the space between thought, you might die?
I would just die,
just blip out of existence.
Yeah. And I remember getting freaked out. I was like, I gotta get back to my body. So I like tried to get back, and there was a delay. I don't know how long it was, but I was like, holy fuck, I almost lost my way back to my body. But it doesn't even matter what really happened, because really all that did was tell me there's something else to this fucking reality.
Beyond your body and mind, thought, breath,
because
heartbeat.
Before that, I was a very logical, maybe self-described intellectual, very, straight A student, even though I stole college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, straight A student. I was really fucking studious. School
really
was easy
interesting.
For me.
Wow.
So easy that I just became a con man. I would just fuck systems up. I would just break systems. I would just figure out how shit works and just fucking do my own thing, that kind of thing.
That's wild, man.
But after I found out that there's something more to his body, it fucking shook my reality up.
Would you say that's your first ontological shock experience?
Probably first one. And I was scrambling. I didn't even know what to research. I thought I was
What year was this?
2003. Maybe after the motorcycle crash, after my kids, so 2016.
Oh, okay. There's already some information out there.
Yeah. Even before then, this is kind of when the internet proliferated too. Like before then, 2012. Yeah. So being on the internet since 1994, 92, the internet seemed like a finite place. I could gather information really easy. I thought I was like a internet research expert. But by 14, whatever it is, 16. When I had these experiences, I had no idea what to type in. I didn't even know what body scanning was, right? So I typed in like...
In a way, it's an advantage for you, right? Your mind wasn't clouded by all those like doctrines or ideas from the spiritual marketplace that's so saturated today.
There was no spiritual marketplace,
marketplace,
I think, at that point. But yeah, I had no solidity to fucking hold me back. But something got me to research, what was it? Just meditation. I was like, I think I was talking to somebody because I was just reaching. I was talking to anybody who would listen about this experience. And they're like, bro, you're body scanning? I'm like, what the fuck? Body scanning? Oh, that's meditation? Oh, I'm meditating? I called this active relaxation. That's what I used to call it. I was like, I gotta fucking actively relax because I'm just fucking tense all the time. But once I kind of found that way in of what I was doing, as the world of meditation, I fucking really just Googled everything I could about mind-body connection, meditation, why people do it, and it kind of led to this either, some sort of enlightenment, And along the whole time, I got so much understanding about my own body. I was dissecting it, muscle fiber to by muscle fiber to muscle tendon. I got all these fucking deep connections with my body, and I had that fucking matrix experience where I just woke up one day, I was like, I fucking know kung fu.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because I was like, I understand now why kung fu has these positions, postures, meridians. I know, like, I understand Chinese medicine now from the energetic flow standpoint, because
Just like one day, it's like a it's like a
kind of
shift.
culminated.
It culminated, yeah. It's almost like what we talked about in CC. It's like the escape velocity.
Yeah, I finally hit an escape
Yeah.
velocity, but it was crazy because no one taught me. It was
Was there any specific books that you came across, or just like scattered information on the internet? You have to piece it together.
It wasn't until after I said I had that I know kung fu thing
Yeah.
that I started searching for the dantian and kung fu, because I thought, like, I had a very physical body based understanding of the world. I thought maybe like this body was just a hologram reflection of the whole reality, which it might be
Which is true.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that was my direction that I came from, was body first, dissect the body, and as I'm dissecting the body, I'm dissecting the mind.
Intersecting reality.
Yeah, so I went that way, which I think if back then I thought, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, it's kind of backwards. Most people kind of dissect the mind and then in a way dissect their body, invalidate their body at the last part. I was invalidating my body from the get-go, and that got me to invalidate my mind and myself. And
Yeah,
This
that's why
reality.
we can relate, because I started with the body too.
You did, yeah.
Just physical fitness.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
and
when-
then Vipassana, body scanning, and then everything's mind, and then reality, mind, body.
yeah, dude. And it was crazy because I was talking to anybody about this shit, and my friend's like, "What the fuck? You're on some like spiritual shit right now?" And he was a buff Asian bodybuilder like me, right? He goes, "You're just like that fucking Frank Yang guy. Remember him?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What about him?" He's like, "He's on this like spiritual shit right now." I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" So I'm like, "All right, I hadn't checked you out for like I don't know since like 2000. I don't even know.
bodybuilding days,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I think it was like 2019, 2020, something like that. I finally looked you up. I was like, "What the fuck is this guy?" And like when I heard your videos, I'm like, this resonates with me.
Because I was talking about body scanning.
Yeah,
pretty much,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
And it wasn't exactly what you were saying. Because like the material stuff we were saying.
Yeah, we come from
sure.
slightly different paths. Did you have a path then? Because I know you're into Taoism. You wouldn't call yourself a Taoist still back then, right?
Yeah, but all that study of Kung Fu led me to Tai Chi, led me to Qigong as an energy cultivation practice, which led me to Taoist internal alchemy, which is really just overlapped with, that's how I think the knowledge for Chinese traditional Chinese medicine comes from a Taoist understanding of the body. They found out from inside out how this shit works, and that's how they prescribe exercises or can read a body. These are skills that I have developed in just dissecting my own body, And I get now why people can say like, oh, the way you're standing is harming your liver or something like that, You can just see the whole, all the connectedness.
So you were just practicing on your own, completely self-taught. You didn't seek out a master or anything like that.
I eventually did.
You eventually did.
I found good books, I
Okay.
found a lot of good, weird books. I was collecting books for a while. And the only thing that held me back really was the Chinese language. I never bothered to try to learn Chinese. I felt like that would have stepped my
Push your game a little bit.
chops
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
But really, I wasn't in no rush. It's not like I wanted to learn this stuff. It just came naturally, and I'm not doing it for any reason. I'm not gonna go into the practice of being a healer per se or kung fu teacher. But I did, I found a kung fu teacher in Seattle that was internal martial artist that was open to talk about meridians, dantian, energy cultivation, a good amount of meditation in there too. So that kind of helped me have some sort of groundedness and almost a lineage kind of type of.
So at that phase, were you still consider yourself healing, or was that already beyond healing? You already started to like cultivate, like.
I just thought it was a healing thing,
It's still a
really.
healing thing,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
so from that motorcycle crash, by dissecting my body in that way and having such an understanding, I was able to manipulate my body and my energy and my channels to completely heal myself from that very major motorcycle crash. And that was like, I guess, proof in the pudding type of thing.
It's like now you know that you can do anything kind of thing.
Yep,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. I had that thought too when I hit my 40-inch vertical jump. Yeah, I had the same feeling when I at the Big Bang experience. Almost the same feeling. It's like
do anything.
you can do anything.
Yeah. It was a crazy path though, because for the longest time I was like, am I crazy? Am I just fucking making shit up? Am I really doing anything? Am I just thinking I'm moving energy and manipulating channels in a good way, or am I fucking myself up? Like who knows what I'm doing? I could be concentrating energy in a certain place and then just making myself sick down the road that I don't even know about. Because that's actually one of the things people talk about in Taoism.
So did that happen to you though? Did you try and error?
Actually,
Okay.
because through trial.
But that only proves the power of it, right?
Yeah, right. So I
sense,
did fuck myself up, and actually, I didn't completely heal for myself until I thought I fucked myself up so bad that I gave up. I was like, "Fuck it! I should not do this shit. I should not touch that. I should not even try. I need a real master. I need something." But after I gave up, that's when it started opening up, and I have like hardly. I can't. Who knows what my baseline was before the motorcycle crash, but I feel like I'm still peak performance in some sort of way of my life right now at age 44, even though I was really fit when I was younger.
So when you say you gave up at that point, like that's when you truly healed, was when you gave up.
Yeah, I gave up my own will to do something. I learned too that when I was trying to manipulate energy, I thought I was manipulating. I'm doing this thing where I'm doing this thing.
Right.
But I found actually what was more beneficial is just to watch it, really just be it, and it would just do what it's supposed to do.
Just let the Tao like be itself. Right?
So it's more of an undoing than a doing.
Okay.
So I was doing.
Yeah.
I found out something, but I was doing a lot, and if anything, I was adding more layers, adding more karma, adding more tension to the system. And it wasn't until I just gave up with that knowledge of how the system kind of looked that I finally able to just let it unwind itself. Me unwind myself. Me let go of my expectations.
Kodak coffee, yeah! Team Kodak! Let's catch that motherfucker!
And go the doer, right? But I actually think that's a really important part of the self-invalidation process. It's like going through all the exertion, like taking the doership to the extreme until you have to let go. Because myself, it's the same kind of journey. It's like I was doing Vipassana, bodybuilding, or hardcore. I didn't know how to relax.
What's on your mind?
Friendship.
Just completely, all the practice I was doing is just like very contracting.
Yeah.
Just like very narrow focus, laser beam like, right? But then after a while, I just couldn't, there was nowhere else to go but to relax. And I started to tap in like do nothing meditation, just like the art of surrendering and effortlessness kind of practices, and then they just kind of merge together. But without the prior experience of exerting, you wouldn't even have the insight of letting go. Right? It's almost like all the strains, all the yeah, you have to exert.
How do you get rid of that? How would you even know? Even if you're doing the wrong thing or whatever, you don't know.
You can't try to not exert either. You know, it's like
you have to be doing something to get something. You can't just like not do anything or not exert yourself enough to not build up enough pressure to fucking.
You need the pressure first. Yeah. That's why I realized a lot of like non-dual teachings nowadays, they just tell you to do nothing right from the beginning, which is not ultimately wrong, right? But they try to explain everything away with the ultimate. So when people hear that before they have any kind of foundational base in terms of like meditation that they can self-invalidate, they just start out the path with, oh, there's nothing to do. There's nobody here.
Hard to
I think most people it's hard for people to do like hard things, to take their physical limitation to the extreme. But that's something that is kind of like you were born with it.
Me and you, I think we both, what I connect with you with is just the extremist kind of
just very extreme. Like,
I mean, now we're talking about beyond extremes, or there is, you know,
to go beyond extreme, you have to go through all the edges of all the extremes.
For KFC, one each. This one's the one I made for Frank. They're all a little different, but just intuitive. I put together. But this is a Z bead, DZI bead. Especially, it's supposed to be from Tibet. Bats on it. It's supposed to be like good fortune, but I think Frank's just batshit crazy. And a bell. Tame this motherfucker. You know, Bagua. Expansion, contraction, all that. Samsara, Nirvana, same shit.
That's Samsara Nirvana?
I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But,
what about these ones?
I think that's malachite, obsidian, gold or silver coming together, you know? duality as one, tiger's eye.
What's Tiger Eye here?
Yeah.
Where's Tiger Eye? Just this whole
This
thing?
is the brown one. Yeah. And then the dual string, because just Frank's crazy. A little bit of wood, a little bit of earth, a little bit of metal.
So you thought everything out.
Yeah. I have to show
Thank you, bro.
the one I made for Khan and Chang too, but for you, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry.
I'm sure it's different for everybody
Yeah,
too, but for me especially, I like to explore this extreme,
Yeah.
that extreme.
Same.
Then I'm okay with being somewhere, which
Yeah.
eventually means I can just not even have any
Yeah.
measure
Yeah.
of extremes anymore. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's when a lot of my self practice at the time was just qigong type of stuff, standing meditation, microcosmic orbit breathing, just a bunch of Taoist breathing stuff, and it's all with the perspective of trying to heal or the longevity of the body or clarity of channels. It really wasn't anything about
Buddhism.
mind or reality
Yeah, not yet.
or Buddhism even. In fact, it wasn't a concern. I wasn't there to be enlightened, honestly. I was watching your videos like, yeah, if that happens, that's cool. I don't even know what the fuck is that. But I just really am into these fucking energy channels at that time. And that's when I joined CC, actually.
Oh, right. So when you joined CC, you still had no idea about the whole like non-duality awakening stuff.
Yeah, because I didn't really follow the circles about that kind of stuff. You know, I wasn't in the marketplace.
So what made you want to join CC, and what attracted to you to
It's pretty
CC?
shallow. It was just like, I want to up my meditation skills.
Okay.
And just because you were talking about, I'm, you know, in a way, starting a group, I was like, oh,
Was that
shit.
cohort 3?
3 or 4 is the first one on school.
No, it's 3. Cohort
3. Okay, yeah, cohort 3. And even before then, you had a reach out for just private one-on-ones and things
Yeah.
like that. And I was like, man, I want to go talk to Frank. I just like, it's just been in the back of my mind, like, I just want to connect with this guy. You know, I would send you random fucking direct messages on Instagram about random shit, and you would
Yeah.
reply. So I just felt like you were reachable. So I just kept that in my mind. And when you finally joined for cohort 3, and really it was just like, I want to regular practice.
Dude, that was only like a little more than a year ago.
Yeah, I mean,
like this guy's like progression from not knowing anything about like Buddhism, emptiness, and non-duality to where you are now, which we're gonna talk about,
Yeah,
like your
yeah.
progression, but it's been unreal. Like
Yeah, it has been.
this is like one of the first cases in CC where I feel like, damn, like with the right teaching, with the right effort, right view, you can completely transform yourself. It's just the way you talk about the view, and like sometimes you in discussions, you would just like, because before you were more quiet, right? Like I didn't know like you had all this insight until like you started spitting fire here and there, like during discussion too. I was like, damn,
Yeah, I
like, what
think,
happened, John?
It's funny because I didn't really realize what was happening either. And
So you didn't go in there with the goal of like, oh, I want to
No
realize
goal.
Anatta or
I
anything.
actually never have any goals. Even when I was bodybuilding and lifting weights, you know, I was hitting those numbers. Other than the big 3,
yeah,
till
other
get
than
over
just like
1,000,
the numbers.
I was just like, let's just do this
Yeah.
and do it the best I can.
Yeah, because you do things for its own sake. You
Yeah.
effort for effort's sake,
Yeah.
virtue for virtue's sake. The
Yeah,
way
so when
we're
I
talking
joined-
about it. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So when I joined CC, I was like, whatever they're talking about, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be there, put the reps in, show up, and fucking try. Put that right effort in there, you know.
Did you remember before MeiCheng joined us with cohort 3, what kind of practices we were doing?
We were trying all types of different
Yeah.
hats on, you know. We were like, let's try twim, let's try do nothing, let's try I don't know, I can't remember.
We did it, but we did a Vipassana a little bit too. or not?
Vipassana,
Yeah, but you're
yeah.
like, I already did that.
Breath,
But you never
yeah.
tried self-inquiry or anything?
Nope, no
but-
self-inquiry. Twim was actually really hard for me.
Oh, really?
That was the first time, yeah. I just felt like cold in there.
Mm.
Had to use my teddy bear to help conjure up some warm feelings for others. But I think it was good because it gave me a taste of everything, but also made me realize it's not about that technique.
It's not about the technique of the method.
Yeah,
right?
but it's good to try it out. It's good to know, kind of dabble in that kind of thing. And what was crazy is that I became, even that little short time, I became quote unquote a better person. And that wasn't a goal. I'm not trying to like clean up my life. I never thought about cleaning up my life. I didn't even know how.
So what was
messy my life
the insight that made you realize that, you know, with this meditation thing, you can actually automatically or like by default make you more virtuous or, you know, ethical?
Yeah, because I've always had this idea that I don't care to be moral. What the fuck does that mean anyways? I just understood that if you train in the proper, if you have the proper perspective, I called it back then, we call it view now, then morality would be a byproduct.
Yeah, that's how I always thought as well.
Yeah, so I always felt that. So I never tried to be a better person.
But did you try to gain insight into the nature of mind?
it happened during all that in CC because the first kind of inkling was that my wifey, she and I noticed myself, my life was cleaning up. I was maturing. That wasn't a goal, but it never happened in such a that kind of pace before. I started being less self-centered and
just through like the insights you're getting.
Because it wouldn't make sense to do anything else. It's not like I was trying to be.
Because if you try to be selfless, it's still coming from the self. If you try to be compassionate, it's still a compassionate self.
Right? I was just noticing myself, like, even things like, not ordering spicy food so my kids can eat with me. These little things. It's just like, it took a lot of time, right? CC was a big time type of investment. And even though it was that big investment, my wife was okay with me doing it, Shayna, that it was no problem. She could see the benefit in it, and I can see the benefit. So I just kept on going, not exactly knowing what the outcome would be. You know what I mean?
So when MeiCheng came in as a head coach, when we did your first official boot camp, but we did it together because we both did the boot camp together. So what was your impression at first? Like, were you able to just understand the teachings right away? Like,
no, not at all. But I trusted you and Khan. Because I just felt like you guys were just comrades. We're just trying to tackle this thing together. And I saw that you and Khan and the whole group was growing together. And it was unlike anything I've ever experienced. And, of course, I kind of looked around at the marketplace at that time to see what are other people doing. I started paying attention to like what the fuck people were talking about. I was like, dude, the things that we're talking about is like way ahead of everyone else. Like, I didn't really believe when Khan would say, like, we're on the cutting edge of this shit. No one else is talking about this shit. I was like, well, I think every group would say that, right? I started paying attention and listening to talks from other YouTube guys. It's like, I think I already got this. Like, this is obvious. But, what we're talking about is like the one that's stretching my mind, opening my horizons. So, but it was unreal though. When MeiCheng came on, I didn't know what the fuck to expect. And even when he started teaching, it was beyond what I could fucking understand by just putting the reps. Just showed up and did the thing.
When did you realize, man, this is for real, like the transmission thing? Like, were you able to just yoke in the transmission right away because you had a Taoist background and just like working with energy?
It's funny because, there was very little instructions of what to do exactly during the sit. And I kind of just defaulted back on my body scanning. But actually that was my fear. One big reason I joined CC was like, man, all I'm doing is body scanning and in a sense, cleaning out my channels. I'm scared that I might just reify my body into such a, have such pride that my clear channels, that my body is going to be the anchor of.
But you're aware of that.
So I was aware.
When you're aware of it, then in a sense, you don't need to negate that view. You just see through it.
Right. So in CC, I saw through it. So then I finally realized I was still doing body scanning, but I didn't have any shame, and I knew it was okay to do. And in a way, I wasn't reifying my body. It was just kind of a means to find relations with my becoming, my existence. I connected with just how the becoming of it all, you know what I mean? And I think I just felt there's too many weird synchronicities during the transmissions with Chang. Like, I just felt like he was talking directly to me when I was having some sort of experience. And he would say something like, what the fuck? This guy is in my head. Like, how does he know? But then, like, the funny part is I wasn't really freaked out. I think a lot of people were freaked out when they kind of saw that connection. But from the get-go, I think you can connect with this. Like, I was just totally fine being completely naked. If someone was in my head, fuck it. I have no shame. What do I got to hide? You know what I mean? I do, but like, I don't care. You know what I mean? So I just kept on letting go and just keep on jumping in and trying to cross that chasm.
Because I remember cohort 4, I remember there were 12 of us. And then one of the things that we were kind of proud of was like we produced 7 Anatta Realizers. And then, I forgot the exact number, but there was a point where it was like, okay, John was getting there, but it was like 6.5 Anatta Realizers, even though we talk about not making it into a thing. We're aware that we're making it into a thing, which is fine because,
I mean, I think it's okay to look back at it.
Yeah, looking back at it. But that was what happened was that we were noticing John was having some kind of a breakthrough, but it wasn't complete yet. So we're like, when we went on the live public talk to promote cohort 5, I believe you were saying that we have like 6.5 on Anatta Realization.
Is that what it? I didn't know you guys are real.
Yeah, we was at 6.5, and then it was like, okay, Johnny needs to refine his view a little bit, but he's cooking it because you had a conversation with MeiCheng, and then that's when you had a breakthrough. But can you talk about like what made that shift initially, and then how did you almost, I guess, complete the realization by refining your views? And we also did like scholarly studies that you say that really helped, because I think the instruction was to like refine the view through those scholarly studies. You know, we talk about like developing your yogic intelligence and things like that. The book clubs, the infamous book clubs. Right?
It's funny because I didn't really do anything different than my my normal disposition, meaning I had no expectations. I just did it to do it, right? And
wasn't it like during the conversation you have a pretty energetic and profound experience when we're talking to MeiCheng, right?
Yeah. So
like,
the one-on-ones is
the one-on-one. Can you talk about that one?
Totally. Yeah, the one-on-ones is
that's the first one-on-one you had with him, right? Or the second?
I think so.
And
I mean,
the second half you were just like, you say your body was like, going through all this like energetic.
Yeah. At first, shifts. I just did like just felt the embodiment of energetic shifts, but. And it's just funny. I can't really pinpoint to a certain thing, but it's just all these different pointing ats from you, from Khan, from MeiCheng. It all just kind of clicked together, like the mandala just aligned and just locked in. It's like, oh, it makes sense. And but it wasn't. I never even thought at any point to ask myself, do I have Anatta or not? I never actually did that ever until Khan finally pulled me aside. I think it's along the times when you guys were like, hey, I think maybe John has what it takes to help us out, to help, be a mentor of some sorts. And I was like, what? Me?
So we're verifying Anatta for you, even before you were doing that.
Yeah, so I wasn't doing it, but then Khan was like, no, you...
So you didn't realize you were like... No. So you didn't know about the 6.5 Anatta Realization?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know you were talking about me. Yeah. I never really stopped to measure. That's one thing. I never stopped to measure.
That's a lesson. Yeah, that's the insight right there.
Yeah,
you never care about measuring. Yeah.
I just know that anytime you measure, it's to some reference point, and that reference point isn't the ultimate.
Exactly.
No matter. Yeah. So I never stopped to measure, but. And plus, anytime I did make a mental note, like there had been some crazy body breakthroughs, channels opening up, intense
explosions.
Shit. Yeah.
This is all going to cohort 4, right? Cohort 4.
Yeah, even before that, even before I joined CC, I had some crazy Kundalini shit, like where, I became manic. I was like, I'm fucking God. I know how the universe works. I fucking know the universe, the secrets of the universe, blah, 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 all this shit. And I was like posting online, posting all this crazy shit, texting like anyone, or, DMing anyone, just trying to get anything. Because, those are so profound. But I look back at it now, it's like in this grand scale of other experiences I've had, it's like very little. And it's just funny that
even the realization itself.
Yeah,
because it's not an experience. Yeah, because most people confuse experience with insight, and they confuse insight with realization.
Right. So I thought those are big experiences, and I thought they were realizations. But looking back, there was just these deconditioning.
Deconditioning. It's a byproduct of your conditioning releasing. Yeah.
Exactly. So.
But in a way, you also exhausted that part, because people, they go into the path and they haven't had a lot of experiences. Yep. Something like a virgin, they just want to like fuck as many girls as well. I just want to get the next spiritual insight, next spiritual candy. I want to experience this, that. Yeah. But then with you, it's almost like you got out of the way, and now you can actually realize, because you don't need to experience it anymore.
Because I did a lot of exhaustion.
So you already even exhausted the spiritual experience.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm so grateful I put in all that work. MeiCheng talks about when he used to run like 100 miles a week to...
exhaust his karma. It's just marathon training.
I was basically running marathons in my Meridians. I did for 3 hours a day plus.
You did run? You run?
No. My body scanning.
Oh, your body scanning.
Yeah, it was just obsessive. I couldn't even stop doing it. I mean, once you have that Kundalini shit kind of crack open, it just happens until it... You're
a natural Taoist. You just follow the Tao the whole time, pretty much. Yeah. Even when you're not following the Tao, it's like something in you is following the Tao.
Yeah, it got to the point...
disposition.
Yep, exactly. It got to the point where there was no difference between doing and not doing. Cushion, not cushion, body scanning or not body scanning. It's always kind of happening.
All those dualities just dropped.
Yeah. But so then Even as of recently, I've had some really crazy, like fucking death experiences that just clarified view even further, and it just keeps on going. And I still don't really stop to measure boomies and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just who knows what's gonna stop. I only have a goal. I'm scared sometimes to like know too much.
You still don't have a goal right now.
No goal. No goal. I mean, I thought completion. There's talk about completion. I was like, that would never happen. Why would I want to do? Why would me try to become like a Buddha? Maybe what the fuck? But at least now it's not outside the realm of
impossibility.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't even on the plate. I wouldn't even like utter the fucking sentence. But now it's like
me and you're so similar in that way. Because like even for me, I didn't really have a goal either in terms of like I knew I practiced meditation a lot.
Yeah.
But like I knew about awakening probably more than you did because like I was reading a lot of books and watching non-dual videos. I knew there's this thing called enlightenment, but then it was in the back of my mind. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna meditate. I see the progress. I want to increase my intelligence and creativities. It's reducing my suffering, obviously. But then it just kind of happened. And then even with the completion thing, it's just like, okay, it's not my goal, but I'm still practicing right now and just practicing with you guys.
Doesn't it make sense?
It's just the path becomes the goal and vice versa. Yeah.
Also, when you're just living, there's what else there is there to do but to refine what you're doing. And what we're doing is just life, true life, not getting in the way of, not making something to get in the way of what's already happening.
What about your most recent death experience that I think you experienced in a few, right? A few in the last cohort or something. You were an indie practitioner.
Oh, guess what? Guess what I got today? Ta-da! I just received this today. Oh, wow. I'm gonna do. We can do a live. Change your lineage. Change your lineage. Let's see. What did you get one?
Yeah, I got one. Show the back, Frank. Show the back.
Yeah. Because under your.
Oh, we designed it together. Me and John. Yeah, straight Jersey. Yeah. Well, I guess you can check out the back.
We got our merch now, Shravaka Contemplative Crossfit. And Shravaka here means in CC context, ones who've heard the signal.
Yeah, so John was an indie practitioner where he wasn't in the main cohort, the last cohort 6, but then we have this option called indie practitioner where you still get the same transmission, but you're just doing recording. But then, is there a difference at all for you as doing recording as live?
With Khan's recommendation, he thought that on that boot camp cycle, I should do an indie practice to examine my relationship with practice and CC itself. I think also, after cohort, what was it? 5? Yeah. I was pretty burnt out.
Oh, you were burnt out.
Mentor.
Okay.
It was.
You were being a mentor.
Yeah, that was a pretty, interesting.
That was
cohort.
Your marginal fitness.
It was.
Yeah. The being a mentor was part of your training.
Yeah, it fucking opened me up. That's what really accelerated everything too, is being a mentor.
Interesting. Yeah, talk a little bit about that. Yeah.
I remember just being asked it. I was like, do I have the fucking chops to do this? And Khan basically, puffed me up and said, yeah, I mean, of course, even though it's not gonna be easy, but even if you don't, you have to now. You said yes, so you fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like, and I just did it to the best of my ability. And it's not even doing it. I just showed up and just what has been happening, I just let it go through me. I wasn't thinking about what I was saying, how to be.
You say sometimes you go out and then like drink and then you just come back and sit in the morning, you just start expounding or something like that, or a couple of instances like that?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of going through...
You're like Dennis Rodman style.
I was going through a lot of shit, I would be fucking drunk some sessions, I just...
Yo, same cohort 5, I was drunk in a couple of sessions.
I'd be fucked up on something.
Let's get fucked up!
But for whatever reason, it's not even about doing the substance or not doing the substance.
Yeah, it's not about that at all, yeah.
But
because the clear light is there regardless.
Yeah, right. So
the view is there.
I think they say alcohol's good for burning karma. I think I was just burning through a lot of karma. Sometimes we cook ourselves a lot, put ourselves in. We're reading people's karmas, reading our own karmas. Things just come up, and I'm doing all these things just to fucking continue to exhaust. You don't know what you have until you fucking drop it. It's almost like looking back at, oh shit, that's what I was holding on to for a while. I didn't know.
Yeah, because you can't see your own obscurations almost.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
But-
It's almost until after you dropped it can you see it.
Yep,
Yeah.
and
in
with the, help,
retrospect.
with the help of everyone.
That's why it's so important to have other people,
it out.
poke at your views and refine your views together. Have an instructor. Yeah.
Yeah, I really had to be okay with being chopped up, dissected, fucking,
And I think we talked about. Remember that when you were at MeiCheng's house, we were talking about how we relieve suffering together. We exhaust together because karma is not a thing that belongs to self nor others. It's a relation. It's a relational thing, right?
I'll bring that up too. Like
Yeah.
I had a very embodied understanding of exactly what you're talking about. We're not healing ourselves, we heal each other, right?
Yeah.
So quickly.
Nothing's ever alone.
Yeah, nothing's ever alone, right?
Yeah.
And I felt that directly with MeiCheng. And it has to do, it's very similar to experience.
And that's pretty recent, right? A few days
That's
ago.
just a few days ago.
Just-
But before I talk about that, I'll talk about at the end of the boot camp 6.
So last boot camp, the last boot camp, yeah.
I had this experience when at the after your last Disney transmission.
Oh, you were going through something during our Disney transmission.
Yep.
Right.
You guys had it, and I didn't catch it live. I watched it 2 hours later.
Right, just for the context, we went to Disney about the beginning of the last cohort, and then we did a transmission, the admins team only.
Admins.
And this time, there's the mentors retreat with the admins team. But
Yeah.
back then, it was just the admins team, and then we did a special Disney transmission, which we do it before to kickstart every cohort.
Yep.
And then you were experiencing something profound, like a shift.
Yeah.
At the same time, we were doing the transmission.
Yep, exactly. So things were culminating anyways. Just the whole putting in the time for all the sits in the boot camp, so I was just doing my normal session, and I couldn't tell you if it was any different than any other, but there was a point where I just sunk so deep that how I described it was that I just fell through my body. And it was so crazy, and there was nothing to hold on to, that I just kept saying, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? And this was like 2 a.m. because sometimes I don't practice with my family around because, I'm doing family stuff. And finally, when I have free time, I'll do a sit. And it was 2 a.m. I was just sitting there practicing, and I just fucking went through that experience. And I was literally yelling, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? And just on the ground, just like fucking convulsing. And I didn't even know, but I finally kind of came to after like so many what the fucks, and I was still kind of groggy. But my Shayna, my wife, she's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Like I got to the point like they were standing on top of me and they thought I was like dying. And
Did they call the ambulance?
Yeah, my mother-in-law who lives in the house next to our, the mother-in-law, she was so worried. I was yelling, so I woke up the whole house. The neighbors probably heard me because in Hawaii, I live in Hawaii now. We keep our windows open. I was making the fucking crazy ruckus, and they called the ambulance because they thought I was having a stroke.
So the ambulance came?
The ambulance did come, but then as they came and they're outside, Shayna is like, "The ambulance is here. What do you want me to tell them?" I said barely. I was like, "This is not a medical emergency. Tell them to."
This is a spiritual emergency.
Yeah, and they're like, "Are you sure? You're not fucking sorry?" I'm like, "No. I'm going through some spiritual shit." Something like that. And I could barely talk there. Okay. They sent them home, and I had just the whole family was around me. I told them I'm okay. Just give me time. I had just reassure them first. Then I just collected myself. But really, I just had this falling through, and I think it was, if I had to get.
Well, like, that shift, how's that different from the Anatta Realization?
I think it solidified the Anatta.
Solidified the Anatta,
It
right?
gave me a physical, visceral understanding. Because before that, maybe I thought Anatta was more logical. I had a logical understanding, but also you could just.
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. After Shante say, first you wake up with the head and the heart, and then the gut.
That was gut.
That was gut, yeah,
That
pretty
was
much,
gut.
yeah.
But so that was really profound, right? People ask like, "What was your Anatta realization like?" I can't even point to an exact spot.
You
but I
can't,
always said it-
because there's no exact spot, because there is all these energetic releases are kind of just a byproduct of a deeper realization or a further refinement of views, because you just realize what's always there.
Yep.
It's always the case, right?
'Cause
It's
for
not an
me,
experience.
like how I was saying, I never measure. It wasn't that I looked back, it's like, oh, I guess I Anatta makes sense. You know, here's all these things that make sense to me. It's only looking back, and if you're doing that, it seems very non-bombastic. But then I also have these experiences where I fucking fall through my body and die. So that is bombastic, but it's almost
So it's both and neither kind of thing, right?
yeah,
It's like you can't really pinpoint it at all. Yeah.
So fast forward to your topic about when we heal ourselves, we don't heal ourselves, we heal each other type of thing. So I have this is the first time meeting
MeiCheng.
this MeiCheng and you and the CC crew in real life. This is a big.
This is only a few days ago, right?
a few days.
But right now it just feels so timeless, right? It's just
so
like we
timeless.
know each other for like.
And it's like, I'm still fucking excited as fuck when I think about it. I can't believe right now, like, I can't believe
You're in the interview right now. You're in the
Yeah.
fucking dream. You're in the dream right now. What's real?
Right here, right? But I thought at a certain point you get confidence to yourself or whatever. Actually, when I was studying all
The way I
Meridians-
describe our meeting is like it's the most like mind blowing and the most surreal thing ever, but at the same time it's the most ordinary. It's almost
Yeah.
like the duality between something so surreal and something so ordinary. It just collapses.
He's hit the ground running.
Yeah.
We're best buds.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
all
Yeah,
homies.
just
Instant
relation,
homies.
just instant relation. Yeah.
It's
Instant,
not like we haven't gone through so much shit
Yeah,
on in the boot camp
Yeah,
too. Just
yeah.
fucking like comrades in battle, But so
just hang out with you guys. Even when I was at MeiCheng's, it feels like I never left and I never came.
oh wow, yeah,
Something like that.
Yeah, so MeiCheng's house, that place, I feel so lucky and honored and so much gratitude to even be able to like be there, to be invited there. And so I went there and I remember
This is the first time at a Buddha's house.
Yep, exactly. And this was after 36 hours of travel. We hit the ground running, started doing all this sightseeing right away.
You came with Taylor, right?
Yep,
you guys were
Taylor.
both from Hawaii. Yeah.
So we hadn't slept for like 36 hours. I hadn't laid down for that long. I've been in a seat or standing or walking the whole fucking time. But right when I got to MeiCheng's house, I was like, all right, we have no agenda. We're just sitting here chilling. Like what is normally, if I'm at a person's house the first time there, I feel very like, all right, make sure I don't do the, respect the surroundings, respect people's stuff. But I felt so at home, like I'm gonna lay
so
down on the
easy.
ground and stretch out because my fucking body hurts. Mind if I just lay out? And we're just all chilling and we're just laying there, stretching out. And in a way, when I did that, I kind of gathered everyone into the living room. We're just chilling like homies in the living room, that's what I do with my friends back home. We just no agenda. We're just shooting the shit. And I remember MeiCheng talking about his injuries from training, all sorts. I remembered about MeiCheng describing his injuries. And
Because he said he's injured a lot because he's taken on so many people's afflictions.
Yeah.
It's like constantly like
you
injured
can't
or
train
something
without
like
injury,
that.
really.
Yeah.
If you're scared of injury, you're not training.
You're not going to progress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to progress.
You got to change your relationship with injury.
Exactly.
It's not to be afraid of injury. Yeah.
Exactly.
Neither do you want to like verify the injury.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got the guts to kind of ask it, can I check out can I feel your injuries?
Yeah.
Because I'm just really into feeling people's bodies.
Because you can feel people's energy.
Yeah,
You can
right?
feel people, and then you just feel like you can aggregate it as their body.
As I thought, I
it's your
healed
body,
myself from
your
this
mind.
motorcycle crash, and so I thought in a way, and I do like kind of do make contact with people and do some sort of work and kind of provide relief sometimes. So I thought I had some, I thought maybe I could help heal MeiCheng's injury. That's kind of the thought I had, which is like crazy to think about now looking back. So he said, yeah, go ahead. So I'm sitting behind him and I'm kind of doing my usual thing where I'm just assessing and surveying his body, and I could totally feel the injury he's talking about. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can identify this. Oh,
I think your first reaction is, how can this guy still be standing? Normal people who have this kind of injury, they would probably just collapse, right?
I
But he's
mean-
still getting up every morning at 7 a.m. doing the transmission,
Yeah, I don't know how
taking us on a magic copyright into the
unhuman.
inconceivable.
Unhuman.
Yeah.
And you feel that, and actually when I first saw MeiCheng, I was like, holy fuck, this guy is powerful. Like, you just see him sitting there in the chair sometimes. He just, in a way, he almost seems docile, but then in presence, in life, real life presence, just look at his legs. I mean, this dude is fucking dense. He's got some power. And when I got to touch him too, I was like, holy shit. This is what you're holding? Fuck. And I don't even have a full 100% view. This is just what I can
You got to go to battle. He went to battle with creation, he said, or something like that. Yeah.
It's great. I don't know I can't even comprehend it, to be honest. But when I was feeling him out, I thought, I was like, okay, let me try to balance some energy. I was doing some real work on him. Right? And then what happens when I do this kind of work is I connect with the person. We just embody each other. And as I am feeling their meridians, I feel my own meridians in the same exact way. And it's like whatever I watch there, I'm pointing at it so MeiCheng can see it too, and I can see it, and he can see the channels in me. All of a sudden,
So Freaky Friday, you guys are
it's totally Freaky
swapping
Friday.
body minds.
So I thought I was just like kind of helping him clear his energies, but what was really happening is he caught on to the signal, and he was just saying like, interesting, that's how you do it, interesting. It's fucking crazy because I really,
He was catching on the signal you
Yeah.
were routing towards. You were routing as him, and then he was routing as you routing through him.
I didn't have to say anything, you know. I didn't say this is what I'm doing, but I just went at it and started feeling it, not said a word. He knew exactly what the fuck I was doing, exactly. And this is the kind of shit that I don't talk to people about because no one would really understand.
It's the woo, right? For most people.
The experience.
But if you talk to MeiCheng about it, he says it's completely, it's almost like engineering or like it's completely mechanical.
We won't
It can
even
be.
talk about because it's too simple. in
It's
a
too
way.
simple.
Obvious.
Yeah,
It's so obvious, right? And I didn't really get that because he never talks about that kind of stuff.
he
Right?
doesn't.
So bad. It's like maybe he sees it differently. Maybe this is different. But what happened was he fucking started healing me. I thought I was healing him, but no. I had the whole wrong direction.
But by healing you, you also healing him
Yeah,
because
so- but
you
then
guys are routing through each other.
So what happened was like I fucking died. He killed me right there.
Oh, you had another death experience right there, right?
So, I don't know if you remember seeing me that night. I can barely remember, but I had the oh fuck moment. At a certain point, I just let go. I was like, fuck, oh fuck. And I was standing there like grabbing my insides and I felt like I was gonna puke, but it wasn't like a nausea puke. It felt like my guts were just fucking...
Yeah, I remember that. You said you were like, I'm twisting like a lot
I
of suppressed
described it
hormones
as
or something.
reverse dying.
Reverse dying.
I died, now I'm reverse dying. It was like maybe another visual is like ground beef reversing into tissue again.
Oh wow!
It was like that kind of feeling. I was like, like all the just everything aligning, things coming back into the form it was supposed to be, and it was all mutilated before. It was very gruesome. It was like HD view of my tissues reverse getting blended up. It was like
It's crazy.
just thinking about it at the end almost made me barf, and the actual sensation of things rearranging made me want to barf too. But I was sitting there for so long, just like, oh my god, what the fuck? And and then I had to reassure something like, I'm good. I'd be like groaning, like, John, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I feel excellent. This is fucking bliss. Actually, it's painful. I can see how people would just say this is painful as fuck, but also I knew it was so good and it was so healing, relief, that it was blissful at the same time. But Chang would just be like, yeah.
It's almost like the whole thing with the realization. It's almost like you have a realization, it's an opening, but that opening leads to further opening. It's almost like a snowball effect, because once you kind of like drop the knots of perception, the center, whatever, that just allow you to, you know, have a even more room to process karmas and more clarity in terms of like view refinement. It just snowball.
Yeah, because
And you just get so much more comfortable with death.
Yeah,
with the solution.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, because for a long time I thought it was about healing and clearing and blah, blah, blah. But at a certain point, I realized it's endless.
It's endless.
It's not about healing or having a perfect, clear...
Yeah, because when you say healing, it's almost like there's already a view there. It's like you're broken, but you have to heal.
Yeah.
But you saw through that view like pretty quickly.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay. Well, we can say it's healing, but that's only on the expedient level.
Right?
It's relative, yeah.
Yeah, my God. So I was looking at my motorcycle accident and my injuries from like, this is me before motorcycle accident, and here is me healing myself. So here I went from injured to here. I think I healed myself.
But then you went through all this other deaths even after that.
And then after I touched Chang is coming from like
MeiCheng.
under MeiCheng. When I got in contact with MeiCheng, his perspective is like the ultimate looking at what an injury is.
Right.
That's like an infinite to this point. I'm looking from motorcycle to heel. So my range of experience was is so
It's still linear, right?
Linear,
yeah, but then
so small.
from the ultimate view, it's timeless, but it includes all three times, right?
Yeah, that, and just the magnitude of scales of being able to make sense of things, even though it's not about making complete sense, but I just realized how small my scale, the magnitude of my view was, until, you know, I'm only getting a better sense after contact with MeiCheng. You know, it's I had another ontological shock because it's just like the scale of reality is beyond.
It's beyond the beyond. It's beyond anything you can even conceive.
Yeah, it's just, you know, continually
Yeah.
refining that view. I'm so glad I don't measure shit,
Yeah.
because if I try to measure it, it would have boxed it in.
Yeah.
And that's how I was measuring reality with my injury, and injury to healing. That's,
But that was part of the process.
yeah, it was just, I'm glad
Interesting.
the contact and everything that has transpired to help me keep going.
Yeah, the way I describe it is like people usually look at it as from like A to B or A to C, but what about from A to Z and A to B to C to Z, every other letter in between, all in simultaneity,
Yep.
while at the same time going beyond the alphabet altogether.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, all that stuff sounds very body based, but it had to do with everything at the same time: view, refinement, right
Absorption,
effort, absorption, all that
purification.
stuff. Yeah. So it's all happening at once. But yeah.
Interesting. Well, speaking about death, let's talk about your other death experience. You said you were used to be in the streets and you got into a gunfight, and then you almost died then too.
I had a pretty
How
interesting.
old were you when you had that experience?
That was actually very recent.
Oh, yeah?
Before joining CC, it was before I moved to Hawaii, so less than 3 years ago. These are just encounters with death, I guess. And maybe it just paints a picture of what kind of character I am. But, long story short, this is a story about how I was thrown in prison for. It could have been up to 7 days, but I made bail. But what happened was I was going home from the subway midnight after work in Seattle. Seattle was getting kind of rough back then. This is just the end of COVID, so people were still kind of learning to, you know, be out and about. So people out at 12 o'clock at night were still the sketchy kind of people, I guess. So I was there, and I'm a logical guy. When I sit in the subway on a Saturday night at midnight, I'm sitting right by the door. I'm just not doing anything. When my stop comes, I get off, right? But there I was, just minding my own business, and I hear all this commotion behind me. And, you know, there's like these two kids, 18, 19, something like that, 20 maybe, just, you know, causing a ruckus, like making loud noises, partying, joking around, grabbing brochures and masks and just throwing it everywhere, just littering, just, you know, being rambunctious, whatever. It didn't really bother me. But some of the brochures landed by my feet. So I just look at it, you know, because it landed by my feet, and the guy sees me looking at the brochures. He goes, "What are you going to do about it?" And then right when he asked that, it was my stop at the subway. So when he asked me that question, I'm like, "I'm going to get off." And he thought I meant, "Let's get off to fight." And I realized he said that too. But I was like, man, I'm not going to explain himself that I meant this is my stop, blah, blah, blah. So I just fucking booked it, like, door's right there. Fuck it, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And right when I went there, I was wearing a backpack. My backpack got grabbed, and I guess I tried to push the guy, but there's two guys. One guy's really big, one really tall guy, one really big guy. And it happened so fast, the next thing I know, I came to, and I was being ground and pounded. I was just on the ground, just I was like, whoa, what the fuck? So like came to, pushed him up, and like got up right away. And I got concussed because I don't really remember much about it. But luckily there's surveillance footage, so I pieced it all together. But yeah, I just remember.
So you went out.
What happened?
Yeah, concussion, you went out.
Yeah, I went out. I was just totally out of my mind. But I remember walking. I was like, all right, I still got my Jordans on. All right, I still got my backpack. That's all I remember, because I thought maybe they want to jump me from my Jordans. I was wearing Jordan Cement 3s. But I was like, okay, I'm cool. But I'm walking. I'm in shock. And I live literally, you know, walking, like my window could see the subway platform from my apartment back then. So I was just walking home, just like, all right, I'm not fucking broken. My teeth are still there. I kind of got a swollen, but my eye kind of hurts, but I can still see. I was just doing a self-check. I'm okay. But by the time I got home, I realized, oh shit, I don't have my phone. Oh shit, I have no glasses on. My glasses, you know, normally wear glasses, got knocked out. So I'm just going to my place, clean myself up, and I log onto my computer, and I do find my iPhone. And I do like, where's my phone? Because I want it, you know. I look at it, it goes, oh, it's on the subway platform. So I look out the fucking window, and the two guys are still standing there with my phone. You know, just after they fucked me up, they're just still standing on the platform. So I'm like, all right. And I'm not thinking straight. I'm going to get my fucking phone back, you know? Even though I just got beat the fuck up, I couldn't even think straight. But I'm like, you know what? I should be smart. If I'm going to get my phone, I better bring my gun.
Do you have a gun?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I have like multiple guns, only because my cousin influenced me to get guns as a preparedness thing. I don't really carry it. I just keep it locked away. And it's just kind of a cool technological gadget to me. But, you know, I still have it. The cops try to keep it, but I got it back. But anyways, I took my gun. And the funny part was that normally I have a concealed carry weapons permit in Washington. But since COVID, none of the offices were open for a really long time, so it expired. And I knew that Washington was open carry law state. So I was like, all right, if I carry this gun and I want to be legal, I got to not conceal it. So I'm like, that's cool. I'm just going to walk around holding this gun. And I'm going to tell those guys, give me my phone back. That was my plan. So that's what the fuck I did. So I got my gun. I just walked up to the fucking subway, up to the platform. I see those two guys standing behind, just right there. Their backs turned to me. And in my head, I was like, if I was a bad guy, I'd just fucking shoot him and kill him right now. But of course, I'm not a bad guy. So I just stood there, held my gun up. I was like, hey, give my shit back. And the craziest part was the guy turned, saw that I had a gun, started running. He slips down and a fucking gun falls out of his pocket. And I was like, holy shit. And he picks up the gun and starts shooting at me right away. So I'm just like, bam, bam, like, I'm like, holy shit, I'm getting shot at. I can't believe this. I'm like, I'm holding a gun. I'm like, this is so stupid. What the fuck am I doing? It's just a phone. All these things go in my head. And it's just funny because I was like, oh, shit.
How close were you to him when he's just
To that chair. What is that? 12 feet, 10 feet? This chair right here. That's how close I was to these guys. Yeah, so like luckily he fell and he was just shooting like that. He wasn't really aiming for me, but I was like, what the fuck? But I was like, oh shit, I got a gun. But I'm not going to shoot them. I wanted to shoot some in the air because they were already running away. I was like, I better shoot some in the air so they know that I have a real gun. And two, they shouldn't come back. I had no intentions of hurting them. So I was like, all right, I'm going to shoot some in the air. And I never shot a gun in public before. So I realized I didn't even have anything in the chamber. So it was like nothing was happening. Shit. So I had to like cock it back and I shot a couple rounds in the air or whatever. And they run away. They're fucking actually hurting themselves because one guy tries to run over the tracks and he's kind of fat, so he's hurting himself. The other dude's fucking running and they have to separate and they're probably freaking the fuck out. They're really scared too, as I'm really scared, but at least they're running away. I'm just standing there. And I look down, my phone's right there. And also my glasses are over there. So I got my glasses, got my phones, like, all right, I'm not dead. They're not dead. I got my shit back. I learned a lesson. I think they learned a lesson. This is cool. So I start walking back home. I get home, I'm showering, and obviously the cops come because gunshots were fired. And I tell my story and they believe me. But then they watch their surveillance video and there's no sound on their surveillance video. So in the video, it looks like in their shitty angle and how fucking dumb these cops were. They thought that I came up there, which I shouldn't have. I came back to the scene, they said, and I went up and shot at them first. And they thought from the way the guy was running that he actually got shot because he like hurt himself like fucking, I don't know, climbing over the railroad tracks or whatever. So they booked me in jail waiting for a guy to come into the hospital with gunshot wounds and then say that I was a attempted murder return to the scene type of thing. But obviously no guy ever showed up in the hospital. I didn't shoot anyone, but I was put in like a until trial prison.
How long were you in prison for?
It was only 3 days because I remember my girlfriend, Shayna's phone number, and I called her and was like, hey, can you post bail? And she was freaking the fuck out. She knew when the cops picked me up, but she didn't know what the fuck would happen afterwards. She was already freaked out for me being beat up, bloody, getting shot at, and the cops taking me to prison. I feel so bad. She was so stressed out. But yeah, it was real deal prison because it was prison until trial, unless I posted bail. And so luckily I posted bail and then it got dropped. So I never had to show up. But prison was a pretty awesome experience, actually.
Interesting.
Because the inmates that I roomed with, that had like 6 other dudes, were actually really nice. And I just got to feel their perspective. But all the guards and all the cops, I had really bad experience with. It was like TV. I had one dude that was like getting out of prison in 2 weeks. He had been in for years, so he's really happy. He's the one that like took me under his wing and like, oh, you not know how to use the phone? Let me show you how to make a call out. This is the ins and outs. If you want a extra blanket, whatever. He's just telling me, like, oh, okay, when you're during the day, you don't want to wrap the blanket around you because they don't allow that. I'm like, what? They don't let you put a blanket on? Like, nope. They'll tell you to take it off. Like all these little things, I had a schizophrenic bank robber that taught me how to play gin rummy. I had a guy that spoke no English, and he just farted and laughed a lot. I had the creepy white guy in the corner that I think everyone said was a child molester. It's just like every little thing, and I got out just fine. And even though I lost money posting bail, it was a good situation for everybody. I have no permanent damage.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. That just shows...
just share what kind of karma you have, bro. Yeah, how you able to just like turn it down?
I mean, I
just
think
like overcome it.
Just like extreme
whatever.
personality.
It's just like so spontaneous all the time, I guess.
I learned
You just know how to respond to the situation like a Taoist would, I guess.
I hope I gained a little wisdom and merit from that, though. I wouldn't want to do that again.
But you already died though.
Yeah, I already died multiple
Yeah,
times.
you're gonna die again. So you actually a medical. You work in the medical field, right?
Yeah, so yeah, I guess that
What do you do? You're kind of a doctor, something between like a nurse. Not a doctor. The first time I saw you with the
scrubs.
I was like, hey, you're a doctor. You're a doctor. You work at the ER though, right?
I do work in what they call the cardiac cath lab. I'm an invasive cardiovascular specialist. I work with doctors to do surgeries.
So you've seen a lot of deaths.
I've seen a lot of deaths in front of me, many.
Like countless.
Yeah.
Yes.
More than I can count. So I've actually had encounters with. I have a lot of encounters with death now, myself and patients dying in front of me. But I think that my history of doing extreme
shit.
stuff. And then also like it just all speaks to my character. It's like I just try to do a lot of different things. I have a lot of stories, I guess. Yeah. Even though I did the hospital thing, I only did it because I thought I was really gonna go to medical school and become a doctor, but I got so burnt out in college, I was just gonna quit college actually and tell my friends like, well, don't waste your credits. Come do this program I'm doing. So I've been doing that thing for, I don't know, 15 years or so, but I've always tried to do these side projects along the way. I started multiple businesses on my own as my parents are small business owners, you know. Clothing boutique, bong shop in...
So you say you owned your own clothing store, right?
Yeah,
From scratch, you built everything?
Fucking built out the whole thing. I could do construction, I could do that kind of stuff. We did a poke bowl restaurant with my mom.
The poke bowl is one of my favorite foods. Yeah. You can make poke bowl, right? We're gonna make a part 2 where you teach people how to make poke bowl.
I can cook. I can cook too.
Yeah?
I mean, like...
This guy's a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
It's like a Renaissance man from the streets.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Renaissance man from the streets. Yeah, that's gonna be the title.
I mean, you know, I think I'm a product of the era of the 90s. You know, I feel like we're the last generation that actually like built tree houses. I was there pre-internet, post-internet, you know, porn before the internet was crazy. I kind of tell the story all the time about what jacking off was like before the internet existed.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man, so internet, before the internet existed, people would it would be hard to find material to jack off to, honestly. Like, you know, people talk about the Victoria's Secret catalog and all that kind of stuff. Times were tough in a way that the material wasn't there. Maybe you had an uncle or a dad with PlayBoy magazines, you would steal one away from them or whatever. But I want to crowdsource this answer because I think this is kind of common, or at least it was well known in my adolescence. But in my neighborhood, we would walk around, kids would spend a lot of time outdoors. We would walk all these trails and build tree houses and things like that. And there is, for whatever reason, a known spot where porno mags were dropped off. There was just a box of porno mags behind this tree in the woods, and everyone kind of knew about it. And it sounds creepy, right? But I think it was like, imagine being a guy and you have all these porno magazines, and someone's like, get rid of your magazines. You won't throw them away. That'd be a fucking waste. You can't donate them. Who would take it? But you kind of know if there was already something happening that people put their porno magazines at this spot. It's like a stockpile of porno magazines. So I knew about it. And there was like an unsaid rule that you go there and you just pick a couple magazines out. Don't be greedy. You're not there to whack off or anything. I don't think. I didn't do that. But you just take some home and you have your porn collection at home. There was no downloading. You actually had a physical box.
Did you have to bring some back? Or?
Yeah, I brought the porno bags. I had under my cabinet.
I mean, you took it back, but did you return it to the box for the people later on, or?
Probably not. No, I didn't. That would be kind of weird. But even though maybe that might have happened, but I just somehow disposed of them somehow or some way, or just donate. I gave it to my cousin or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it would get recycled. You can't throw that shit away. It was gold back then. But anyway, that was just like normal to me, and hopefully other people have experienced the same thing because it sounds creepy as fuck when I talk about it. Everyone's like, "What the fuck? You just found porno magazines in the woods and you fucking use that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's all I had." Yeah.
So when that was before the internet, right?
Yeah.
So when you were saying something about the internet, how did it slow down?
So I never knew about the internet until my parents bought a computer at like 1992 or 94 or something like that, really early on. And there was a Prodigy dial-up internet service, and there was something called the World Wide Web. And I just like got it. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It's like, World Wide Web. I heard about this. First website I typed in was www.playboy.com because they were like advertising playboy.com.
You said it was a revolutionary Playboy at that time.
I think porno was like the
catalyst for the internet. Yeah.
Internet came out, I was like porn.
And porn drove the internet.
And it was such a weird transition. And the kids these days don't know about this, but I'll show you. Back in the day, I would whack off like this. Magazine, right hand. When the internet came out, I was like, oh shit, playboy.com. Let's type it in. I'm like, oh, this is really awkward. I'm using my left hand for the mouse. Like, oh shit, I gotta make the switch. Right hand click, left hand dick. And I had to do this switch for many years, right hand. All of a sudden, now it's left hand. Whole new experience.
That was because there wasn't videos. There was videos would be easy. You could just play the video and just whack out with your right hand.
Right,
but then,
you could.
That was the modem time. It was
so
pictures.
slow.
So slow.
It would load up, face first, and the face was ugly. I wouldn't even let the whole body load. I'm like, next picture. It was like, oh, she's ugly. Next.
And then the boobs.
Don't waste my time. Yeah. Boob, face, okay, boobs. Oh, next, you just see I had no, it was so scarce, still scarce back then. In fact, downloading is so scarce. To this day, I still have a hard drive with all the original porno I downloaded because I still have this idea that it was scarce. I never bothered to throw away my hard drives. I still have.
Was it in your Xbox?
It's in my Xbox.
So you can still access it.
I can still access all the original porno I downloaded in like the 90s.
So would you go back to it and whack up to it sometimes?
I have in the last 10 years or so. It was just nostalgia. I had to just remember. I was like, oh damn, I remember this. This was a good one. So I just do one for nostalgia.
It's almost like you're fapping off to your own sense of nostalgia.
Yeah.
To your own, a part of your own mind, part of the karma you kind of exhausted or something like that. Just bring it back and view it from a different perspective. Like,
yeah. My friend says I'm funny, even though I've even whacked off to my own wife before. Why would you do that, man? Turns me on.
You whack up to your own wife?
Yeah,
that's normal.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't think it's normal. He's like, wow, if out of all the things that you could do, why would you do that? Like,
no, I think it's a different experience when you know that you're fantasizing about something. There's almost like a distance for the object of desire and the subject of desire. If there's a distance, it's almost like there's a pleasure in like closing that causal loop or something like that, because the causal loop was broader, and then you kind of know exactly
something
what's
else you're fucking with there. Some other dynamic, but so it's not just that it's my wife, it's some other dynamic.
It's some other dynamic.
Masturbating.
It's like playing with that distance, like
but that's
subject-object distance.
It's just funny. The internet back then, being a 90s kid, pre-internet, post-internet, and now the internet seems almost dead. It's too saturated with everything.
Because you say you used to go on bodybuilding.com MISC, right?
Yeah.
Or MISC or
bodybuilding.com MISC, offtopic.com. Yeah. The MISC, they had a bodybuilding forum on that. I remember interacting with your posts on bodybuilding.com. Just a forum. Like, that was all forum.
So you were like, you knew about Zeus.
I knew about him. I didn't follow him when he like.
He died, right?
Yeah.
But he was kind of revolutionary. Yeah. It's just like the first internet bodybuilder
it's
icon.
The whole alpha lifestyle.
He's like the virtual internet version of Arnold. He started the whole like internet bodybuilder industry.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how people call say Sigma? Is that what they say now? Sigma personality, or
I don't know.
You're just so chill that nothing fucks you up. Like back then, it was just about alpha. Fucking alpha, bro.
It's just about alpha.
Dog. Yeah. I didn't. Now they have all these. Don't be a beta. Was my.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember.
Now it's like all the way to like Sigma. I don't even know. I don't follow him.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Right hand dick, man. You guys don't know about that.
All right, John.
Weird.
I think that we got all the questions. We can end there.
Love you, Frank.
I love you too, bro.
Yeah, so
Did you have fun? Is there anything else you want to cover?
Dude, I'm so thankful.
Dude, you went through a whole life story.
How did I even end up here? Just thankful, just grateful. What the fuck?